Hi, this is David Hall with Swordsmen Roofing. Today, we wanted to do maybe a slightly different video where we talk about some of the different financing options and some of the things that we see that helps and also hinders people when they're looking at financing. Now, there's many different reasons why somebody might want to do financing. For a lot of our customers, they just don't want to pull the cash out of the bank and use that. They'd rather do one of the financing options that we have and then just pay it off in a lot quicker time than the full length of the loan. All of our loans have no early payoff penalties, and so you could get the loan today and pay it off next week, next month, next year, and there's no additional penalties or fees for doing that. So a lot of people do that just because they don't want to take that cash out of their bank account, and a lot of other people also just don't have that much money sitting around. Most of us, I think, are don't have 15, 20, 40, $50,000 just sitting in our bank account that we want to use to replace our roof. And so it's a fairly common thing for people to be in a position where maybe they do have that much, but they don't want to take all of their savings out to pay for the roof, or they don't have that amount at all, and they need some additional help. So whatever the case is, whatever the reason why you may be looking at financing, you may be interested in that option, we're here to help you with it. We've got multiple different options, multiple different partners that we use so that we can help you find the best solution for your needs to get you the best rates, the best terms, and get you the best payment possible so that we can make the replacement of your roof more affordable. Now, some of the things that we have found that will help people when they're getting their financing and help them get approved are a couple of different things. One, you don't want to have any major credit purchases recently, whether it's just buying a home or buying a new vehicle, things like that. Those can affect your credit score, which then can affect the ability to get qualified for a loan. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but it might just affect the rates that you can get and what you can qualify for. Now, additionally, debt to income is a big thing overall. So, whatever your debt to income ratio is, if you've got much more debt than you do have income coming in, then that can affect things as well and make it difficult to get approved for a loan. Additionally, we have found just overall credit score. So typically we have some partners that will get you approved, for around 500, 5 to 600, obviously all the way up to 800 credit score as well. And so that 550 is typically that the lower end that we see that we can get people approved. We have a couple of partners and a couple of different options that we can look at if you're below that, but it makes it a lot more difficult at that time. Now, some of the things that we have found that help people get approved, other than just having a higher credit score, is also just their overall income. In particular, one of our financing partners, we found that if they had an annual income of at least $45,000, then typically we could get them approved for credit again, as long as their debt to income ratio wasn't too high and some of these other factors. So, some things to think about when you're looking at getting financing, some things that help, and maybe some things that may hinder as well. So, keeping that overall debt to income low, not making any major purchases, on a payment plan of some sort, or taking out a mortgage or a loan is going to help as well. Having the higher income, a lot of our partners will also allow you to do dual income. So if both you and your spouse work, then you can put both of your incomes in. It's the whole household income, not just one individual. Additionally, you can have a co-signer if there's somebody that you can make the payments, you can do all that, but maybe you just need a little bit of help getting approved. Then you can have somebody co-sign on that loan that maybe has a better credit score, or higher income, who can then help you get approved and maybe get approved for at a better rate. So those are things, all things to keep in mind as you're looking at financing. One question that we get as well is what if I'm retired, or if I'm on Social Security or something like that? Can I still get approved for financing? And the answer is yes, and it depends again on how much income you have coming through, whether that is through retirement or Social Security, what other income you have, and then again, what your overall credit score is. And again, we have multiple different options that we can look at to see what's going to be the best for you and try and meet your needs and where you may be coming from. Another question that we often get is my credit going to be dinged? Is this going to be a hard pull on my credit? And no, most of our companies that we use just do a soft pull. So that's just to get a general idea of where your credit's at so that they can make that decision if they're going to go ahead and accept that risk and provide you with that loan, or and then once you get to the actual decision of, hey, this looks good, I want to do this loan with this rate, this interest, then I'm going to go ahead and accept that loan. Then at that point, those companies will typically do a hard pull at that time just to make sure that they didn't miss anything the first time around, and then do the final approval to get you locked in for whatever that loan is and the amount. The other thing that we'll do is that we can go ahead and get you pre-approved for a number of these loans, or whichever one looks best to you. And that doesn't lock you into anything. That doesn't even lock you into, working with us specifically here at Swordsman Roofing. But we can go ahead and go through the process of checking your credit, checking your income, making sure that you can qualify for the loan, making sure you can qualify for the amount of loan that you want to get, and get you pre-qualified for whatever that amount and that loan is. And then at that point, once you know what you have access to, what's available to you, then you can make that decision if that works for your budget and you feel good about everything else that we offer here at Swordsman Roofing. If you're ready to move forward at that time, then you have everything that you need and we can get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some examples of loan amounts that you may be interested in looking at, and then kind of some of the interest rates and payments that you might be looking at. So I'm going to share my screen here with you. Right here, I've got $20,000. So let's say you want a $20,000 loan, and through this company, Service Finance, we can get you rates down to 9.99%. Again, that's not a guarantee. That's based on your credit score, again, debt to income, all those sorts of things. But you can get a 9.99% rate, which is pretty good for interest and financing of this type. For the term here, I've got a term of 10 years. So it's 120 months, 120 payments that you're going to make, which is going to bring the total to $264 a month, 264 and 19 cents. So that's pretty doable for most people to be able to do, to get a $264 payment. Now let's look and say, you know what, that's maybe still a little bit outside of, what you can do. We can extend this out to 15 years, which would be 180 payments, 180 months. That you're looking closer to $200 a month. It knocks about $50 off a month, bringing you down to 215, just shy of $215 a month, which would help a lot of people. So let's look though. So that's two examples, and then we can do obviously some things between. You can do like a 12-year, 144 month. Again, you might have a slightly higher interest rate, but that's giving you an idea of what it would be at around 20,000. Now, let's say you have a bigger roof, or you're looking at a different material like a metal or stone coated steel, something. And let's say you need $40,000, and you're again at that 9.99%, and let's say 10 years. So you're looking at about $500 a month, $528 a month for that $40,000 loan if you go the full term of that loan. Now, again, if you want to spread it out a little bit more, take a little bit of that payment off and go to 15 years, 180 months, 180 payments, then that knocks almost $100 a month off, bringing it to $429.59 per month. So this is just two examples that you can do, with different terms between the 10-year and the 15 years. You can do other terms and again other interest rates. We have other partners as well that you might be able to get a lower interest rate. We also have other loans where you can do 12 months, zero interest, zero payments, where you can get your roof done and not have to put anything down, not have to worry about making payments for those 12 months. And then again, bonus, if you pay that off within those 12 months, then you have no additional interest or payments that you need to make beyond that point. So, a lot of great options. We've got a lot of options that are going to fit just about anybody's situation, credit score, monthly payment, all of those things. If you want to learn more, if you have more questions, contact us here at Swordsman Roofing. You can find us at swordsmanroofing.com, and we're here to help.